You just finished a big meal, your stomach is full, but just an hour later, you're hungry again. Not bored hungry, but genuinely, physically hungry. If this sounds familiar, you're not weak, and you don't lack willpower. Your body is sending you signals, and it's time to understand what they really mean. Constant hunger isn't just about how much you eat. It's about what your body receives and how it responds. When hunger keeps coming back, it's usually because something is out of balance. The most common reason is a blood sugar roller coaster. Meals high in refined carbs and sugar like white bread, pasta, and sugary drinks cause a rapid spike in blood sugar. You feel good for a moment, but then it crashes. That crash triggers urgent hunger signals. Your brain isn't asking for calories, it's asking for stability. Another major factor is a lack of protein. Protein is the most satisfying nutrient. It slows digestion and tells your brain you're full. If your meals are low in protein, your stomach might feel full, but your brain never gets the "I'm nourished" message. The same goes for fiber found in vegetables, fruits, and whole grains. Without it, your meal digests too quickly, leaving you hungry again. Healthy fats from sources like avocados, nuts, and olive oil are also crucial for slowing down digestion and keeping you satisfied. But ultra-processed foods are designed to bypass your fullness cues. They deliver calories without making you feel full, training your brain to stay hungry. Hormones play a huge role too. Chronic stress and poor sleep mess with your hunger hormones, ghrelin and leptin, making you feel hungrier more often and satisfied less easily. Sometimes your body is just thirsty, but the brain confuses that signal with hunger. So, how do you fix this? The goal isn't to eat less, it's to eat smarter. Every meal should include protein, fiber, and healthy fats. This trio sends a powerful message of nourishment to your brain. Start your day with protein like eggs or Greek yogurt to keep hunger stable all day long. Add more vegetables and whole grains for fiber. Don't be afraid of healthy fats. Structure your meals and try to avoid constant snacking, which keeps your insulin levels high. Prioritize sleep because it's a non-negotiable for balanced hormones. And find ways to manage stress, whether it's through a short walk or deep breathing. Your body isn't fighting you. It's communicating with you. Listen to it, give it the balanced nourishment it needs, and you can break the cycle of constant hunger. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more tips on understanding your body. Hydration is a simple but powerful tool. Drinking water before meals and throughout the day reduces false hunger signals. Many people notice fewer cravings within days of proper hydration. Micronutrients also matter. Iron deficiency, for example, can increase appetite because the body is searching for oxygen-carrying capacity. Magnesium deficiency affects blood sugar control and cravings. Zinc influences taste, appetite, and insulin function. When nutrition improves, hunger often settles naturally. Gut health improves slowly but consistently with whole foods, fermented foods, and fiber. As the gut environment becomes healthier, appetite signals become more balanced. Most importantly, stop fighting hunger. When you treat hunger as an enemy, you ignore the message. When you treat it as information, you learn how to respond properly. The body doesn't want endless food. It wants stable energy, nutrients, and safety. And once you give it that, hunger changes completely. True hunger is calm. It builds gradually. It doesn't shout or demand specific foods. False hunger, on the other hand, feels urgent, emotional, and often very specific. One moment you're fine, and the next moment your brain is screaming for sugar, snacks, or quick energy. Learning the difference between the two changes everything. True hunger comes from your body needing fuel. False hunger usually comes from blood sugar drops, stress hormones, lack of sleep, dehydration, or habit. When you eat in response to false hunger, you often feel unsatisfied even after eating. When you eat in response to true hunger, satisfaction comes naturally. One of the biggest mistakes people make is ignoring hunger earlier in the day. Skipping breakfast or eating very little may seem harmless, but it often leads to uncontrollable hunger later. By the evening, the body is trying to make up for what it missed. This is why overeating often happens at night, not because of lack of control, but because of delayed nourishment. Another hidden factor is eating too fast. When you eat quickly, fullness hormones don't have time to rise. The stomach fills before the brain realizes it's had enough. Slowing down, chewing properly, and pausing during meals allows the body to register satisfaction. Emotional states also influence appetite. Boredom, loneliness, anxiety, and fatigue can all trigger eating, even when the body doesn't need fuel. This doesn't mean emotions should be ignored. It means they should be addressed directly instead of masked with food. Over time, constant dieting and restriction can dull natural hunger cues. The body becomes confused and protective, increasing hunger signals to prevent perceived starvation. This is why long-term restriction often backfires. When you nourish your body consistently, hunger becomes predictable. You start feeling hungry at appropriate times, and fullness actually lasts. Cravings soften. Food stops feeling like a constant battle. The goal is not to eat perfectly. The goal is to eat in a way that creates trust between you and your body. When your body trusts that food is coming regularly and in nourishing forms, it stops sounding the alarm. Hunger is not the enemy. It's a message. And when you learn to listen instead of suppressing it, everything changes. Energy improves, focus improves, and food becomes simpler. That brings us to the final question. How do you take all of this information and turn it into a calm, sustainable daily routine without overthinking every bite? If you feel hungry all the time, even after eating, your body isn't malfunctioning, it's communicating. Hunger is not a character flaw or a lack of discipline. It's a biological signal asking for balance, consistency, and proper nourishment. When meals include enough protein, fiber, and healthy fats, blood sugar stays steady and hunger quiets down. When sleep improves, stress lowers, and hydration increases, appetite becomes clearer and more predictable. And when you stop fighting your body and start listening to it, food stops controlling your thoughts. You don't need extreme diets, constant restriction, or willpower battles. You need meals that actually satisfy, routines that support your hormones, and patience while your body relearns trust. Once that trust is restored, hunger becomes simple again. You eat when you need to. Stop when you're satisfied and move on with your day without guilt, fear, or constant cravings.